I don't wanna play no games. No, I don't wanna play no games. No, I don't wanna hear your promises. You do you and I'll do me. That's just the way it is.
Boom.
Biddly, but yes, here we go. There ain't nobody down round here, believe it or not. You know what time it is. We have to reintroduce the badger because it's the formula. It's the way we roll. Nobody do it how we does it. Get that badger in and on and over here. We had to move back to get his greatness in. Now then, instant match reaction. That was rough. It's rough to take, difficult to watch. I think probably MVG straight in what the actual foot was Gudmundsson doing. I think it'd be incorrect of me not to start with. I think I've scratched my head there in the melee. Shout out to everybody that watched in the watch along, by the way. I appreciate every which one of you, as you well know. I'll just have to start at the end, I think, because I'll have to watch it back. But Gudmundsson's that far away. I don't know. Please, guys, do not take this the wrong way, right? So, Baby Bremner says 50p head. Don't take this the wrong way because this sounds ridiculous. But he's gone with like a strong head, hasn't he? He's gone, there's no like cushioning. I know it's just hitting. I don't know if I'm being a bit harsh, to be honest. I'll have to watch it back, but did Road on Duck. I need to watch it back. Something definitely happened in front of Gudmundsson, didn't it? But it was... he's gone with like a solid, like you can cushion the ball with your head, can't you? Like, if you it's like taking a touch, you can either hit it firm or try cushion it a little bit. And he just sort of, I don't know what he's doing, but it's hell of an header. It's hell of a finish. It didn't feel real when it went in, to be perfectly honest. My fear is, bring back Furpo, says Joe Depp. Freak Go, says Baby Bremner. Gudmundsson couldn't help it, says Gavin Link. Yeah. I'm probably being a little bit harsh. I just feel as though he could have gone a little bit softer. Baby Bremner says, looks like it just hit him. I'm probably being a bit harsh. It's just so frustrating, isn't it, last minute? I've got to say, I think Farke is going to come into some criticism today. And I've got to be honest, I will not think it's fair. People change the goalposts really quickly, so I'm going to try and remember the fact that we'd have gone to Fulham and got a point and everybody would have been, if we're honest, absolutely delighted with a point. Come away, unfortunately, with none away from home. It was a good performance. I thought we was far the better team in the first half, like by far and away. Fulham didn't, and then you just say, well, Fulham didn't really bring it. Fulham didn't really turn up in the first half. Fine, but, you've got to play against that. And there's never a compliment towards Leeds United, is there? It's always like, well, they didn't turn up. And we did, didn't we? I can't remember who it was on the way out of my live stream, but somebody commented saying, but you've got to score while you're on top. And that is true. The problem was in the first half, this sounds silly, but it wasn't competitive enough. If it was more competitive, I'd have said, yeah, but we was good for the 0-0, But I thought we was significantly more the dominant side. Then the last 15 minutes of the game, I thought Fulham really showed that they had a lot more guile when it comes to going forward. Now, I've said this, I think, in every single game apart from the Arsenal game, because it was relatively pointless saying it in the Arsenal game. They ride out the storm. They're not worried by it. They don't. Then it wasn't a storm against Fulham today, because when we did it to Everton, I thought we actually had them under a bit of pressure, and I don't think we had Fulham under particular pressure. But they ride out these moments, don't they? The professional footballers to the highest nth degree, to the highest level. And what I mean by that also is they're used to turning up an Arsenal playing against them or Liverpool playing against them, Man City playing against them when they're really up against it. So when Leeds United are just in a bit of form and playing well against you at Craven Cottage, they're not going to start panicking, are they? So, so they rode it out, and then the quality ended up showing at the end. Now, I also have to caveat, because I have to be honest, if something comes up, it must come out. The last 15, 20 minutes, I thought maybe not even 15 minutes. To be perfectly honest, when that Kevin lad came on, who I thought they looked brilliant. He looked different gravy, didn't he? Pressure makes diamonds, but pressure creates panic, done it, and pressure creates Gudmundsson's header, done it. Ultimately, we were right within there, right in there, and then it's like, you know, shit starts hitting the fan ever so slightly, and you start feeling the pressure a little bit, and then wild shit starts happening. So you can't just put it down to an own goal tragedy. Do you know what I mean? There's perhaps a little bit more to it. Darlow must be frustrated for him because I thought he were excellent. I mean, I think he saved the Smith Rowe effort, which I think he ended up giving a foul for Bogle. The ref went into chaos towards the end of the game. He was just giving absolutely everything. But Darlow had an excellent game, had a couple of brilliant saves. There were one from Harry Wilson from a free kick, one from that Kevin fella that came on, that were a brilliant save. And then I think it comes from that subsequent corner, doesn't it? Corner. The frustrating thing is, obviously, we've not got the outfield goal, and then it's our man Gudmundsson putting it in back at net. So it proves it can go in. So people can convert these chances. It just so happens that it's in the wrong net. Really hard to take. Really frustrating. From playing well away from home to then not get anything. Again, it's about reactions now, isn't it? So we go into Wolves game, and it's about a big reaction. We have to perform. I don't want to sound daft, but we have to get a goal, don't we? A little tough on back of here. We have to get some goals now, don't we, at this point? You know, I thought Okafor, for what it were worth, were decent. I thought Aronson had a really good game. I thought Harrison came on and didn't do anything. But the game had sort of gone at that point. Dan James obviously come on. He was hoping to be able to get at it a little bit more. Ends up coming off injured. I thought Ampadu played well. I thought Stack played well. I thought Longstaff played well. I thought Struggling and Rodon was strong. Bogle and Gudmundsson. I thought it was a good performance. I thought DCL was a good outlet, a good target man. Arse says we didn't have enough of the ball in the last 10 minutes, and that didn't help. That's what I mean. That's the when the pressure starts to really show, I think. So Gavin Link, personally, I think when we played well, just unlucky in the last minute, and it hurts, but we got to take positives from how we played. We do have to take positives from that. Because it wasn't a poor performance by any stretch of the imagination. It's just such a frustrating way to go out, isn't it? And just for it to be last minute jobby and to have no opportunity to reverse it or change it, you know, we were resigned to the loss there, to the defeat, weren't we? I mean, even Farke looked, you know, resigned, and that's fine in a sense, you know. But I mean, the Metro ran and got the ball out of net. Ampadu looked livid. He was thumping ball and said net one in and started kicking shit about a bit on side of pitch. He's a proper captain. He's Ampadu. I think he's brilliant. And I thought he came back into the team today, and his recovery time is through Rick's scale, isn't it? He's awesome. So Joe Depp says, we turned up, we gave a good account, but what can you do about rope-a-dope tactics? Do you mean that through Farke there, Joe Depp, or... AO says, I'm sticking to my guns about Farke. He's got until Christmas to prove his Premier League quality, else Farke out. Yeah, points on the board are the ones that are the only thing that anybody cares about at the moment, and for good reason. The bloody London, yeah, it's happened again on it. You know, it's a fucking London plague. AO says, we should have won. We should have won, and there's no sugarcoating it. We had a few chances in the second half as well. You know, top of my head, there were an effort from Bogle, Longstaff in first half. But in that second half, there was a patch of about 5-10 minutes where we got a few shots off, and we actually looked quite dangerous going forward. MVG's blaming the London curse. It's the only reasonable explanation. Love that, MVG. Really frustrating. To be honest, it's hard sometimes to process what you've just watched. You know what I mean? You sat through it. I was in a good mood, and then it's just like a freak fucking incident, isn't it? Gudmundsson just coming off at Nuri like that. Makes you slightly despondent. I think it would have been. It's crazy, but this is how football works, isn't it? You go from watching, being in a good mood, thinking the full time. Match report, whatever you want to call it, match reaction, instant match reaction. You'd think this will be good shit. Do you know what I mean? I'll be happy, and then that happens, and then you go in and you just forget about the whole game, then, don't you? Because obviously it all gone Pete Tong. What are your thoughts on the game, guys? Are you despondent, as I'm sure you will be? But, you know, there is positives to take from the game. You just don't want to do it right now, do you? That's the thing, because you get shit online for saying that we played well, but we did. And I know people are going to go towards the fact that we're not creating many chances, and people are going to go towards the fact that Farke started with Aronson on the pitch, but we can't say it didn't work in the first half. We nullified Fulham, and we created more possibilities than them. And you know, I don't want to do a Jesse Marsh and go on the metrics, but if we were Sheffield United, I mean, how did Sunderland get on in, and did they end up drawing 0-0 with Crystal Palace? So it's same thing, you know, 14 shots for Crystal Palace, 6 for Sunderland. They didn't have a single shot on target, did Sunderland, away from home at Crystal Palace. They drew 0-0. You know, we were very nearly significantly more than that, weren't we? We had 10 shots on target. They had 5 shots. 3 shots each on target. They had 5 shots on goal. We had 10. 46% possession. It's such a shame, man, for it to go like that in the final moment. Stuff is nurry. It's just mental. Fulham weathered the storm, says Andy Rowe. Yeah, to some extent. I don't think there was much of a storm, to be fair. I don't think we were that good. You know, I don't think we were putting them under a ludicrous amount of pressure. But, you know, I did think we were the better side, so we deserved. I thought a point would have been fair, but having said that, this is how it works. And the last 10 minutes, when they started really getting forward and they started creating chances, they were threatening enough to sort of warrant that own goal, weren't they? So I don't know. I don't know whether you take it better if that Kevin puts it in top bin. I don't know whether that makes anybody feel any better, or you're just happy with. Well, you're never happy with Gudmundsson heading it in, but it's just like, oh, if Kevin puts it in top bin, you just say like a moment of brilliance, don't you, I suppose. It don't feel season defining, but yeah, as I was saying, if Sheffield come up and do that, why can't we do it? And everybody go. Chrissy Wilder, everybody bangs on about, and how you'd have certain managers in or whatever. Notts Forest got dumped today, 3-0 to Arsenal. Big Ange going to take them down. So let's have a look where that leaves us in the league. We want the most high-scoring games today. Puts us in 14th, 4 points after a possible 12. The points do get away from you a little bit. I mean, it means that Fulham leapfrog us. They go straight into 10th. There's obviously a fair few teams below us. There's Man City. They've got a game to play. Burnley, they've got a game to play. Brentford have got a game to play. And West Ham have got a game to play. So potentially we could be in the bottom 3 by the end of the weekend, which is a worry, obviously. Not good reading at the moment, but we're only 4 games in. We've got to hang on in there, and just, you know, we've said that his own form is going to be extremely important. We have to go put a number on Wolves, don't we? Got to go do the business against Wolves, because they've been really poor. They won a game. Wolves got beat again today, so, you know, beat 1-0 to Newcastle again. Low scoring games. On the bright side, says AO, imagine if Gudmundsson had scored that goal against Fulham. Again, Gullum. Wounded, mate, says Gavin Link. It's no other way of saying it. Baby Bremner says, hit them likes. It feels like a phony to be asking for the likes, brother, but I appreciate you, Billy Bremner. So, Baby Bremner, keep calling you Billy Bremner. For clinicality finishing, we just can't create fuck all. Dropping Nonto is pathetic. My thoughts are that the game was going well until the left back happened. Yeah, it guffed. It was a guff of the mind, wasn't it? Where are the goals coming apart from that? From the one penalty? Well, we had a few chances today. Long stuff from edge at box. Aronson had one at front post. DCL, granted, I think it would have been given offside, but he had a decent chance. We created a few chances today, man. 10 shots, 3 on target. It's not mind-blowing, but that's what, you know, Fulham managed half of that. So take it easy, Joe Depp. Thank you for tuning in as well, dude, to the live stream. It's much appreciated, man. Enar says, I just can't see any of our players score more than 10 goals this season. There is a worry, and we're ultimately going to need these boys to turn up, aren't we? Pretty pronto. So Fulham are a decent side, though, in all fairness, but he now getting the love he deserves. The comments on Leeds United channel will be wild later. It certainly will, AO. I've been offline for 3 days, I think, or since Wednesday night, Thursday morning, so I've not been online. And I will probably remain offline. I'm still going to do my YouTube and that, but I'm not as active on Twitter or whatever, just because, well, just for my own reasons. But I just, it's going to be crazy online. Farke's going to get some proper shit in it. Be interesting to see what he says in his post-match interview, because no matter what he says, he'll get shit for it. But you've got to say, in the grand scheme of things, the decisions he made were right. So, and then it's up to the players to see it through, and they did. You know, apart from the moment of madness, the moment of strong head Gudmundsson, where I just can't pushing it. It's sort of just the one thing I don't understand is, like, you know, I know it depends where the ball's coming, but whether somebody misses it or not, you know, if you was, you know, I don't know, if the ball's coming in, why would you ever like head it? Why would you ever glance it? Why, you know, even if it's there, just head it and look the other way. Just try and get anything on it. Head it back, or I don't know why, you know, like the impulse is to head back towards goal, but I know he's not done it on purpose. Evidently, I'm not even blaming him. It's just so frustrating. It's just a wild moment yet another wild moment in our history, and then seeing Darlow scramble across, and it's just like, did that go off Gudmundsson? Is that how this goes? Is that off Gudmundsson? We never play well after the international break. Hanging in there, says Ina. Shout out to Ina. Top man. Ina getting the love he deserves. If buts and maybes, says Andy. Well, yeah, that's fussball, isn't it? You do the if buts and maybes all the way through, don't you? So, football. I don't care what anyone says. We played well and with a better team despite the loss. I agree. My worry is, you don't get old here for playing well, and it's, you know, it's as positive as the performance was. I think when we're grinding it out, we need that special sauce, don't we? But I still maintain it's up to Farke. It's on Farke now to see what we can see, to grind some results out. As in to get some goals, to get some creative spark going forward. I know he said he needed players. I know everybody's been banging on about the 10 that we never play with, but it's just up to him to find a way to win games, to get goals. That it's on Farke now. I hold my door is fully open to Farke. I want him to do well, but, you know, I'm not on board with anybody saying that we just don't have the attacking outlets that we need. And it's like we could do with that special sauce. We could do with Kevin when he came on. He was good for Fulham money, but they had Harry Wilson, who were no more effective than any of our players. Adama Traore, who, you know, gets forward with decent, no more effective than any of our players. We kept Muniz quiet. We nearly signed Muniz. So what happens if we get Muniz? Does he get 2 goals today? I don't think he does. So he missed a chance of his own. I don't know. This is what happens. Shit happens, says Man in the Shed. Agreed. Fulham needed an own goal to beat us. AO says Fulham decent, really. For fuck's sake, Jack, it took Leeds to score the winner for that shit team to win at home. Well, everybody tells me they're decent and all attacking forces that they've got and all that. I think it's a game that you want to be going and winning, evidently, as they all are. I'm not saying Fulham are particularly decent, but, you know, they finished well last season, didn't they? And everybody was saying that, you know, they're not one of the teams down for relegation. They finished 11th last year. They won 15 games, fought 54 points, 2 points off 8th, 2 points off 9th, sorry. 6 points off 8th. 9 points. Sorry, 11 points off Notts Forest, who everybody said were the best team in the world last year. So, you know, they were in the mix last year. Fucking hell. It'd been such a good point, that. MVG says, that's what I'm struggling with, Jack. Why head it towards your own goal in that situation? I know it's his reaction. But I just don't know why, even if it's coming off at the side of your head, Don't turn into it. Just let it eat you or turn away. And I know you're not going to... It's got to affect it. I don't know. I'm not best header at ball myself, but... Well, I'm not good at heading ball. I don't want to head it, but never have, never will, never wanted to. Although I've scored a few diving headers in my time. MVG, it was with enough whip that Darlow couldn't have been expected to easily catch it. Did James strain his giggling stick? That Gadger was saying it was groin money on commentary, but he went over, he rolled in his hip or like his waist for that foul when Harrison clipped the ball in from the foul in central midfield sort of area when we looked like we were potentially going to break. Fuck. Fulham at home, remember? Yeah. Well, we've got a week to Wolves now, haven't we? So let's have a look. It really is just on to the next one, isn't it? Constantly. Away from home again, 3 p.m. kickoff. Fucking shit is as shit does, boys. AO says, well, at least we can look forward to the Premier League having a good laugh at us over that result. I don't think it's that crazy, dude. We've got beat to an own goal in a mad moment. It's a point. Wish it was. It says a lot about Fulham's performance that their manager looked like he was moments away from an aneurysm throughout the game. I know. And then he went absolutely balmy when they got the winner, that we scored from an own goal. So AO says, come on, Jack, I'm having a crack and banter over this while keeping it real, nothing personal. Of course, dude. Of course, do not worry about that, AO. We're just chatting, shooting the shit out with big man. I know you know to do it how he does it, mate. You're a top lad. Can't we get Bamford on a free pay-as-you-play, pay-as-you-go? Go old school with it. 10 pence a text. Yeah, I thought DCL were decent up top. Metcha didn't seem fully fit to me, but he probably doesn't want to play. He probably doesn't want to overdo DCL's minutes either. So Metcha obviously had 15 minutes in him and don't want to overdo DCL's minutes just on the off chance that, we do need to sort of work him back into the side. Disappointed, guys. Disappointed. Ripper loves a Bamford talk, dirty lad. But yeah, that's me. I'm going to shoot, guys. I might do a shit vid. Well, I'll do a shit vid tomorrow with a bit more of a better, more thought-out breakdown, potentially. I'm just sort of shooting this shit as it comes in. AO positive sounds like a blood type. Get the band back. Get them all back. Get the band back. No more James. No more shame. Right, guys, I'm going to do one. Shout out to every which one here. Thank you for tuning in to the watch along and obviously this super shit instant match reaction. So I appreciate you. Take it easy, baby Bremner. Shout out to Ena and the Badger. The Badger knows what day it is. Universal karaoke. Leeds losing 1-0 to Fulham is massively disappointing because the team created enough opportunities to at least grab a draw, but failed to show any real composure in front of goal and then won sloppy. I think it's a pretty good overview, Universal karaoke. It's very universally well written. So take care, Ena. Thank you, man. Tarar, MVG. Take care, AO, Arse Ripper, Legendary MVG. Every which one here, nobody do it how he does it. Arse Ripper, Baby Bremner, Man in a Shed, Andy Rowe, JT. I'm hoping I'm not missing anybody. But yeah, thank you, everybody. Take care. JLUFC, much love. And I'll see you for a shit vid tomorrow. Let's move on as quick as we can. Take it easy, everybody. Peace.
Boom.